Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Sam Crack. Hope all of you are doing very well out there. Now today we're going to switch things up a little bit. We're going to talk about a salvage auction flip that is going to net somebody a lot of money. Now I know what you're thinking. You say, Sam, you always tell us you're not a flipper, and I'm not a flipper, and I'm going to prove that to you in just a second. However, you guys have been asking a lot about a Corvette update, a DXP update. So before we get to the flipping story, let me take you over to the barn and let's get an update on our rebuild projects. So we're gonna start with this guy right here, the DXP car. There really is not a lot to talk about when it comes to the DXP car. It's just like you guys saw last, but one of the things I noticed, a lot of you guys congratulated me. You said, hey, congratulations, the car is finished. But guys, the car is not finished. The front end is clearly missing something, and the main part is, of course, the wrap. The red from here extends all the way down in the fender. It goes on the hood. Same thing with the blue on that side. And honestly, since this car was sitting at the Copart lot for a little while, some of this wrap is a little bit dingy. So I have contacted a few companies. They've suggested that I replace a lot of this wrap that you see. Of course, some of the proprietary logos like this guy right here is definitely staying. It's in good enough shape. And most of the stuff down low, the blacks here and everything right here, are all very good on the car, but some of this does look a little bit dingy. So if you are in the Tampa Bay area, you know of a good wrap shop, let me know. Like I said, I've reached out to a handful, but I want to hear from you guys. If you've tried someone, you know that they'll make this car look like it originally did. There's also one other piece missing in this area. We're going to talk about that in a video coming very shortly. There is very big DXP news coming, but we're going to save that for another video. When it comes to the Corvette, it's pretty much in the same shape you saw it last, just sitting tucked away right now, waiting for a few fasteners and brackets that I've ordered from the local dealership. Once I get that stuff buttoned up so that everything's snug underneath and in the engine bay, then I'll be able to put the body panels on, fix the headlights. I got to redo the headlights. You'll see that soon. And the car's going to be finished. That's almost done. I did notice one other thing on it. One of the rear tires seems to be completely destroyed or blown out. I don't know how. It's one of the 325 width tires on the rear of the car, and obviously the front end made impact with the curb before the rear end did, and that tire's holding air just fine. So that's going to be a pricey tire, but we're still within budget, well within budget on that car. I've got like an $18,000 budget, as you guys heard me say in this video right here, and I think I'm in at about $16,000 right now. So we're good to go so far. And before we go inside and I show you this absolute home run flip, I want to clarify something for you guys. A lot of people think that I do these videos and show you how I flip cars or why I'm buying salvage cars for auction. And as I've told you guys a bunch of times before, I am not a flipper. At least I don't consider myself a flipper. I've only sold one car that I've ever rebuilt. Is it a benefit that you can buy a car like this, rebuild it, and then maybe not lose a lot of money or maybe make a little bit of money on it? Sure. But does that make you a flipper? In my opinion, not. And I think this Audi is pretty much proof that I am not a flipper. I right now have this car listed for sale. And I've told you guys why I have it listed for sale. I just have too many darn cars and projects going on right now. And this is one of the cars that I put on the chopping block. However, I have it listed for sale less than I actually paid for it. So if that tells you anything, it should tell you that I'm not a flipper now. Of course, the conspiracy theorists out there will say, ah, he's still a flipper. He's just a really bad one. Whatever you want, let me know in the comment section below. Convict me of anything, it's fine. But like I said, I just solely do this sort of stuff for fun because to me, it's pretty darn entertaining and it's a good way to get a car that you want for a pretty decent discount. So here's our flip car right here. It's a 2010 BMW M6. This is a car that I was personally interested in. It was on my watch list in Copart, most notably because it was here in Tampa, Florida, and this car has three really big things going for it. This is where you take notes if you're seriously interested in flipping cars. Number one, the seller is Farmers Insurance. Number two, it's an M car. It's a specialty car like an AMG, like an Audi S or RS product. This is a specialty car. It's not a 650i, a 645i. These cars always command a premium in the secondhand market. The third thing going for it, it says that the primary damage is undercarriage and the secondary damage is front end. Let's blow up the pictures and I'll explain to you the third great thing about this car. When it comes to a car with undercarriage damage, there's no way of really telling the damage on it without going to see it in person. When we look at the front end here, we see maybe there's a little bit of
chipping or marring on the bumper. Nothing major. This is all stuff that can be remedied. The bumper fits nice and flush. We know that it probably hasn't been tinkered with because it's for sale by the insurance company. But as you can see in the first photo and the second photo, all 4 of these wheels look to be in the right position, which tells us there's no major suspension issue, which is common with undercarriage damage. The other thing is the body of this car is darn near perfect for 80,000 miles. This is a car with minimal body damage, which can really make a car like this tough to resell. We look at the interior, it also looks really good for 80,000 miles. And here's a big photo when it comes to undercarriage damage cars. If you have really severe undercarriage damage and you have a break of maybe one of your motor mounts or transmission mounts, that will make the engine sit crooked in the engine bay. Clearly from this photo, this engine is exactly where it should be and it looks absolutely great. All the fasteners are here. This car is in awesome condition. So quickly in review, it's a specialty car, number 1. It's from the insurance company, number 2. Number 3, it has no major damage that we can see from the photos. That doesn't mean that the undercarriage isn't completely destroyed, but as we're about to find out, it likely wasn't that bad. The one thing that's not the best about this listing that will definitely drive the price down when it comes to bidding is this right here, the E, meaning enhanced vehicles. We know that if it doesn't say S or R for runs and drives or starts, that means that the car likely doesn't start. Now that could be something as minimal as a dead battery. We just don't know until we lay our hands on it.
Now the selling price of this car is pretty much what made this car an amazing flip car, and it's what will make any car that you're interested in a good flip car. It's sold for only $9,900. I know because I was watching it live, and frankly, I didn't end up bidding on it because I didn't go and look and check out the undercarriage damage. And I had in my mind a car that was going to be a project for this channel. Number 1, it doesn't have a lot of damage to be seen, so I figured it wouldn't have a lot of content value. And number 2, there's a few other channels doing M-car stuff right now, and it's not a car that's near and dear to me, so it likely would have sat in my driveway for a few months till I got sick and tired of it and sold it after I fixed it. But nonetheless, I should have taken a shot at it because anything under $12,000 or $13,000, this car was an absolute steal.
Now here's our same M6 being sold by a Tampa dealership. You can see they've got a price on it of $19,999. I saw this car advertised a few places, but eBay was the best place to look at it. Now, we take a look at the cleaned up photos. It looks even better than the Copart photos. Everything again about this car is really pretty great. But you see they got a price of $19,999. This car was on the market for maybe a little bit over a week, and it's already been removed from their eBay because it has been marked as sold. They didn't hardly have to do anything to this car. And if we actually take a look at the description here, this car has a salvage title, which most likely was a clerical mistake because when we bought it from an auction, it only had one front strut bent a little bit. We put in a good strut, did an alignment, and the car was good as new.
I want to know who hires these writers for these salvage car listings. It was a clerical error, even though it was at a salvage auction owned by the insurance company. Okay guys, the reality is this car was totaled for a reason. But as I've said a million times before, when an insurance company insures a car, their guarantee is to bring the car back to like it was pre-accident state. In the case of my Corvette, gentleman ran over a curb. In the process, the lower radiator support pushed up into one of the frame rails and it literally imprinted in the frame rail. That indentation is still in this frame rail today. It will not bother me. A lot of you guys have told me my car will forever drive down the road sideways. I know that's not true. I know it is a blemish on the frame, but it is considered frame damage. This car could have some sort of frame damage. It could have a little bit of damage around the strut mount, something that was enough to total it because replacing that whole entire section would have cost so much. However, the one thing I will assume, like my Corvette, this car was damaged in a way to not really affect the way the car operates. This dealership was able to fix what was broken on it, and they're reselling it. And honestly, this car, if it were a clean title car, would be selling for likely another $10,000 premium over what they were asking at $20,000. And with a quick calculation, this car's selling for $9,900. A Copart fee is right around $500. Depending on the type of account they have, it could be a little bit more than that. They probably fix that strut, whatever other little things need to be fixed. Let's say another $1,000. They're in this car for a little bit under $12,000. Again, this is all a guesstimate. And they sold it for right around $20,000 in a quick fashion. They could have made anywhere from $8,000 to $9,000 on this car, depending how much they put into it. And to me, that's a major home run. Buying a car for less than 50% of its retail value as it sits with a clean title, putting in just a little bit of money and being able to move it that quick is amazing. Now, it seems to me a lot of you guys interested in flipping send me a lot of cheaper listings, and that's totally fine. But a lot of guys will buy maybe 5 or 6 cheaper cars, and maybe they're making $500 to a couple $1,000s profit each. I just wanted to show you this specific example because thousands of cars are being sold every single week at the auction. And there are a good amount of these sort of flips to be found. Cars that were damaged because the insurance company was very strict on how the car would be brought back originally. And well, even though it's still, like I said, superficial in my mind, something that could be repaired to where the car is 100% drivable and as reliable as a BMW M car is gonna get, which is not very reliable. So I hope this helped all you aspiring flippers out there. And as always, if you have any questions about anything I've said in this video at all, be sure to email me or drop me a comment in the comment section below. I try to read as many of those as possible. Guys, thanks a whole lot for watching. Make sure you stay tuned and are subscribed because there is big DXP news in the making, and I will catch you very soon.